Not easy. I went to the future and came back to deliver this message. Leg day today. We're only doing 3 movements, 3 sets each, but we're keeping rest periods short enough to keep your heart rate up. If you're wearing a monitor, I don't want your heart rate dropping below like 120 on the breaks, right? So you want that should allow you enough time to get enough out of the next set without shortchanging that set because this is strength building. You're going to get plenty of cardio. This is not a cardio day. It's going to feel like it, but we need strength training. So follow along with these tempos. I'll show you how to make adjustments, whether you have barbells or dumbbells or just body weight. You can do this exercise with whatever you have, or you can do this workout with whatever you have. This was a tough one. Let's get into it. All right, so leg day, first part of the warm up. You need one of these, right? You need one of these bands. If you don't have one of these, definitely pick one up. I like these cloth bands a lot. I will link to them here in case you don't have them this time around. If you don't have these, I want you to do the exact same movement I'm doing, which is going to be this like penguin waddle, right? And what we really want on this is an angle in, pigeon angled in with your shoes. And the reason we're doing that is even if you do this without the band, you're going to start to feel these small glute muscles fire up. Now, if you have the band, we're just going to put these around the ankles and we're going to push out, and it's the same thing. And so I'm just increasing that push or increasing the tension on that push by having that band, which is pushing my ankles in, right? And we want to prime these little glute muscles. The reason I like to start with this is because especially if it's cold and rainy like it is here today in LA and your body's cold, this is a nice way to get warmed up and fire these muscles without having to get into squats where your knees might be a little cold, a little tight up front. So start with these. As always, with any one of these warm-ups that we do, you can take as much time as you need. So if you want to do this for 5 minutes and you got the time, knock yourself out. Today, I'm on a tight timeline, so this is going to be probably about a 30-minute workout or so. So once you're done with those, we're going to flow right into now some slow squats. So pull this up. Okay, push out on your knees, right? Everything's on the heels. Counterbalance if you like. Go really slow, right? This is warm-up. All we're trying to do is keep the muscles under tension the whole way through to get the blood flow going, get warmed up, right? Get the muscles burning a little bit, get your heart rate up a little bit. I'm already not as cold as I was, 60 seconds ago. And if your knees are really agitated, just get to a point and hold and just push out, push the knees out a little bit, especially on that band. And again, you're going to feel more glute activation. There's no perfect way to do these dynamic warm-ups. As I say in every single one of our workouts, you can do it any which way that helps you feel good and warm. From here, keep the band on and just go some alternating reaches, right? Like toe touches with singles. If that's too hard, you can just go both down and up. Don't round your back. So keeping that good posture, reach and up. Hamstring glute stretch, right? Quads are starting to feel it. Hamstrings and glutes are starting to feel it. Toes up in the shoes. Okay. I'm good there. Now I want you to you can hold on to something if you like. Like if you needed some extra support, you can do that. Step back into a lunge, come up. Step back into a lunge and come up, right? So that's all we're doing there. Here, twist across, come up. Here, twist across, come up. So again, as many as you need on these. I like those extra holds. And from the front, that twist across and push gets that glute firing, right? Twist across and push. I'm gonna do 2 more, and then we're gonna get into the first kind of warm up / work set. So longer clip here. What I want you to do, I'm gonna use a barbell today, which I have set up here for the first exercise. You don't have a barbell, that's fine. You can use a dumbbell. So if you're using a dumbbell, how this looks on this first one, because we're always working up into the first set. Getting warm and warm enough to get to that first set properly is really critical to the success of your workout. So we want to make sure by the time we get into that first true work set, you are primed and ready to go. So now we're just adding a little bit of load. All right, so we're going slow, quick. My knees aren't creaking anymore, right? I'm warm. See where I'm stopping at the top there? I'm not here. Down slow, pause, up. There you go. Down slow, pause, up. I'm never locking out, right? Let's go about 10 more of these. Okay, by the time you're done with this, if you've been kind of matching my tempo and my pace, you should be good and warm, right? And if this is too hard today, if you're not yet ready for weight, obviously don't use the weight, right? We're just trying to get your body primed, and then we're going to be using enough weight to force failure where we need it. Hold it. Breathe. Muscles are screaming. Good. Good. And go ahead and sit down, come out of it. Okay, so That is how we warm up. If you feel primed and ready to go to the first work set, go ahead and get into it. I'm going to talk you through a couple points before I start my first work set here in a minute. Okay, so important to note as I start this first true work set, I took 2, 3, 4, 5 sets. Depends on the day. There's nothing perfect to make sure that I'm primed for my starting weight. This is not my heaviest weight that I've ever gone, but I want to make sure that I almost overshoot it so that I'm really primed. I'm getting longer hold, so on and so forth. So by the time I get to my first work set, I'm truly primed. I can do a totally separate video on just this technique alone if you would like. You usually need to be worked up to higher weight for that to be necessary, but either way, if that's something you're interested in, let me know and I can put it together for you. If you're not using a barbell, that's totally fine. You're going to use a dumbbell. You're going to hold it like this, called chalice grip, right? And that's your grip. Everything else remains the same. I like keeping the bands on for this work because it reminds me to push out, not to let my knees buckle in, and it gives me a little extra glute work. So if you're doing it this way, 3, 2, 1, pause, quick. That's the tempo for the day. See where my knees are ending? I'm not even close to standing up fully. Okay, so that is how we're moving through it. Again, you're trying to find and use a weight that forces true failure between 8 and 15 reps on average. I might fail, who knows? And that's okay. I will calibrate and make sure I'm staying in that zone for the full 3 sets. Set 1 coming up. All right, so if you are using a bar, make sure it's not on the bone, right? It's on your muscle, on your traps. Just outside of shoulder width is going to be your power position with your stance. Pause that low point. Drive it up. Two more for me. Oh, okay. Set 1 in the books. Let's roll. Okay, 3 sets of squats done. Legs are already firing. That could be the day for you if you're just getting started, and that's okay. I'm going to keep this band on and show you how to do some glute raises. By the way, leg day is a sprint day. This is how you should be feeling in between sets. So all you need for this is a bench or a couch, whatever you got. You could do these on the floor, but I'd like you to get elevated today. And this is the setup. I'm going to show you without any weight. So shoulder blades are your support. You're not using your elbows up this way. Bad pressure on the shoulders. Shoulder blades are it. From there, find your center. Extend your arms for balance. If you have a dumbbell, if you're going to do this with a dumbbell, I think as most people will, you're going to put that across the lap. That's it. You can either hold it if you like, or if it feels stable enough, you can go back to here. Now, all we're doing is my knees are about 90 degrees. I'm dropping my butt as low as possible, and I'm flattening out at the top. So at the top, you might want to keep a hand, right? But see, I'm bridging. Stay fella. I'm bridging, and it's that high glute squeeze at the high point. Dropping down and come up, big, flatten out. So I'm actually going to do it a different way. I want to show you this in case you're using a couch, or if you prefer this way, but I find this other way easier to get into. Let me show you how that looks. All right, so what I've done here, show you from the side a little bit, is I've dropped this bench down to a decline, right? It's going to make it much easier to get in and out of. So what I'll do for this is I'm going to use a bar, and I'll show you the full version, obviously, is I'm going to start actually on my butt on the ground. I'm leaning back, and I'm going to be able to hold the bar with these hands. Whenever you're doing this, legs are shoulder width apart. What we don't ever want is this. Whether you're using a band or not, I want knees out the whole way through. Driving down, come up and flatten out, high glute. Even with no weight, you feel those muscles firing immediately. I'll back the camera up to give you a better angle here. Let's get to work. So if you are using the bar, you got to get one of these. Doesn't matter what brand, doesn't matter. But you need to protect that the pelvic bone there. Without this, I don't know that my 2 boys would be here. So you definitely need that extra padding, or you can use like a towel or even a yoga mat. But you got to have something across the old lap there, right? All right, so form remains the same, whether you're using a dumbbell or you're going barbell. With me, it's totally up to you. It depends on what you got. All right, get to your start point. About 90 degrees. Up, squeeze. Down. Toes are off the ground. Pushing out on the band. Oh, 10 for me. 10 for me. But again, that is the intensity with which you want to be pushing. That is rough. My heart rate is spiked. Finish out strong. If you need to drop weight, if that was too hard, drop weight. If that was too easy, you're able to get 15 plus, increase your weight. We got 2 more sets. Let's go. I hope you're feeling it. 3 moves today. That's it. But it's these basic foundational moves that if you do them with the right weight and pauses and intensity and tempo as we're doing, it's all you need. It's all you need. Last up, alternating lunges. Basic as it gets, as effective as it gets. Couple key points here on the form. So I'm in full frame right here. So we're going to alternate. Sometimes I'll do these walking outside. It's raining. It's probably cold where you are. Let's not do that. So what you're doing, you're going to have dumbbells by your sides. Of course, you can do this with body weight if you're not ready for weight yet. But dumbbells by your sides, 90 degrees, 90 degrees-ish. It's a little smaller, a little longer, right? Down, and we're right back in. So a couple key points is when I'm doing the exchange, note where my knees are. I'm not coming up here and relaxing. We're never relaxing within a set, right? So here, note where my upper body is too. So it's in line, kind of slight forward lean. That's going to recruit more glute here on the front side, the front leg, as well as protect your lower back and keep pressure out of the knees. So it's a slight shift. I'm not rounding, but I'm here, right? So I still have big posture, but I'm slightly hinged forward, and all of the pressure is driving off this heel. So what I will do is I'll pick my toes up in my front shoe and go here. Remember, this front leg is the one doing the work. I don't want you driving that back leg and really pushing off that back leg. You want that front leg doing the majority of the work. And the last point, heart rate's up. And the last exercise is shoulder width, right? So I'm not stepping here, getting all off balance. And just like with the squat, I never want to see those knees collapsing in. So when you're stepping here and here, here and here, right? Those are your key points to focus on. Trying to keep the rest to about a minute. I'm going to show you this first work set. We got 3 sets here, and then we're going to stretch. Okay, you got your weapons of choice. Let's get into it. Pause. Drive up. Pause. Hold. Statue at that low point. This is 9. This is 10. It's per side in this case. That's 12 total. Two more for me. Keep going if you can. I'm rooting you on. Keep going, keep going. Give you another couple seconds in case you're working. And I'm going to give you a little bonus tip to catch my breath when you finish your work. So what I will do on a set like that, this is one of the first big leg days back since about a month traveling. So workouts were not tip top. Cardio's a little out of it. It's fine. Usually I can get 20, 24 on those. I don't care. It's not ego, right? What I did, you didn't notice and I couldn't talk through it because that was a sprint. But when I know I'm not going to get as many reps as I might have liked, I will squeeze the juice out of the last few. So if you notice on those last few reps, I increase my hold time, right? Increase my hold time and then drop. It's never about the amount that you do. It's how you do it. Your body doesn't know how many you did. It only knows this reaction, right? The energy, the output. So always keep that in mind as we're going through these workouts. 2 more sets. Not easy, not easy. I don't care what level you're at. If you apply that form, the range of motion, the depth, keeping your rest periods to just long enough to recover and get to the next one, you're feeling it as I am. So I'm going to show you a quicker stretch here, and you can take this, do it for as long as you like. But I'm going to show you the 3 main stretches I want you to do. First is here, any elevated surface. You can also do these on the ground. I just prefer an elevated surface, especially when your heart rate's still up. So we're just going to heel up, square your hips toward it, and lean forward. So whenever you're doing the static stretching, I don't want you bouncing, grimacing, pulling. Let your body open up, all right? We're gonna give it like 30 seconds here. I'll do this first one with you. Then I want you to apply these principles to all the other stretches. But 30 seconds or so here. relaxing your face, relax your body, slow your breathing, try to get back to your nose. And then about 30 seconds in, you'll notice, hey, I can get a little more out of it. And you can grab a hold and give yourself a little assistance, but I don't want you pulling and yanking, right? So I want you to do that on both sides. Then I want you to repeat the same sequence for your quads. You can hold on to a chair, a bed, toddler. Don't let the knee flare out and away. Keep it in tight, stay tall. And from the side, it looks like this. So I don't want you doing this. All right, stay tall. Get the knee as far back that way as you can. Same thing, about 30, 45 seconds, you'll see you can get a little deeper into it. And then the last, even though we didn't work calves a whole lot today, use this stretch. They still got work. Calves are obviously stabilizing and doing all. So all you need here is like a wall, something to push against, and get that back heel down and straight. And you're gonna feel that calf stretch, stretch, stretch. Same thing. This is called static stretching. All your muscles have something called a Golgi tendon, Golgi. Its job is to prevent hyperextension. And so it takes like 30 or 45 seconds for it to trust, in quotes, the process, right? And you find you're able to get a little bit more out of it. So obviously, stretch both sides. Really proud of you. This is not easy. Leg day never is, nor should it be. It's the most valuable day of the week when it comes to fat loss. So well done on pushing through it. Let me know what you thought. As always, let me know what you need more of. I'll bring it to you. Appreciate you.